Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello and welcome. In this session, we are going to discuss about the competitive landscape or competitive advantage of a particular market or particular industry, and then we are going to talk about Porter's 5 forces model, which in a nutshell or in a single canvas it shows how competitive is the market and how attractive the market is based on the existing competition or what competition you should foresee moving forward. So, it is kind of a holistic picture on competition. So, competitive advantage, if someone has to define competitive advantage, it is like the skill necessary to outpace your rival. It is almost like when we talk about rival and you think of outpacing them, it looks like you are kind of fighting a war. In fact, in industry, in marketplace, it is nothing less than war. So, the terminologies that people use, the jargons that people use to explain competition and explain your wherewithal to fight competition, it is nothing less than sounding like you are in a war. In fact, the market is explained in terms of red ocean and blue ocean. Red ocean means market is highly competitive and there are people cutting other people, almost like that. Some business is kind of outpacing other businesses are dying and other businesses are flourishing. Some are flourishing, some are dying at the cost of the others. So, it is almost like you are taking over geographies, you are kind of fighting war with another neighboring country or some other country and just capturing. Blue ocean on the other hand is a marketplace where there is no player, there is no competition. You have come up with a new product and you have identified a pain that even customers never thought that a solution is possible, or they did not even realize that they have this pain. Now, suddenly you give them a product and they think that yes, we needed this product yesterday or long time back. Thank God we have this product and now we cannot live without this product. So, it is kind of a blue ocean, there is no blood here, nobody has fought any marketing war there, you are the only player and then you have the entire game to win. As long as competition does not set in, as long as other people do not enter into the market. So, from that terminology also it looks like you are at war with your competitor. So, nothing short of that. So, most successful companies derive this advantage through not through really arms and ammunition, but then whatever you use they are kind of synonym to arms and ammunition, like knowledge, like technology, like information. You process information, get market insight and then use or devise new strategies and then win market share, and then you adopt changing taste of the customers with new technology, new product. You restructure your offering and then you carry to the market. You preempt your competitors and carry to changing taste of the market, requirement of the market. Companies come up with product market fit, unique product market fit, and then customer love their product and then they remain loyal customer for their lifetime. Not truly lifetime, because things are changing so fast, there is no complacency in business in a marketplace. You have to constantly create great brands and then you have to have narratives that people connect with your brand, with your story and the product and their pain. There should be a wonderful synergy or synchronization, and then let the customer fall in love, but then you have to constantly evolve. if we have to define competitive advantage and what are the parameters that of a business, what are the characteristic feature of a business that defines competitive advantage, it is slightly difficult and it will be very involving. Here are some a small number of points that subsume a majority of others almost. Like the first one, first two is actually market related, maybe first three also, then something is product related, the rest is management related. So, it is not sacrosanct, nevertheless, I just try to put them in some kind of buckets. So, attractive market structure means how the market is, the whole competitive landscape of market. Is the market growing, at what rate market has been growing, and what is the growth potential moving forward. Second point actually is subsumed in the first point. So, market structure means how many players are there? Is it oligopolistic, meaning there are limited number of players catering to lot of people, or it's kind of perfect competition, meaning there are huge number of people, huge number of offerings in a huge list of customers, or there are one players or two players, they have monopoly in the market. So, all these together actually explains market structure. Entry barrier, single phrase can subsume most of the things. If you are thinking of entering into or creating a business that is in a particular industry, then you have to think there are two sides of the entry barrier. What is the barrier in front of you? How you are going to surmount that barrier and start your own company. At the same time, after you start your company, what kind of barrier that you can create so that new entrant will find it difficult to surmount that barrier. How do you define what are your wherewithal to create that barrier. Scalability, you start a business doing wonderfully well, then you go moving forward, you do wonderful business, but then if the business does not grow, business will collapse by its own weight. Business has to grow. Without growth, nothing remains stable. Something unless it is a small business like a grocery shop, that remains as it is. Maybe their turnover does not increase over a period of time, even though it increases, that may be barely meeting the inflation. So, if you are not growing, if you are like that in a startup scenario, it will kind of collapse, because you need growth, you need to pay increasing amount of salary. People are actually watching you, and then if you are making money, they are going to enter into your domain. So, your business has to be scalable, and you have to make more and more money, more and more everything, infrastructure, more and more value. Your investors are going to press for value creation. There are many startup businesses that is not scalable, inherently not scalable. Like say you sell T-shirts in marketplace, and maybe with customized print. Maybe you have a printing shop, or you outsource that from somewhere, but then you will find that it is profitable and you sell some quite good amount of number of T-shirts and make some money, but then business may not grow. So, you remain that way. Eventually you will think that you are running a small business, not really a kind of an entrepreneurial venture. That differentiates, one of the differentiator of entrepreneurial venture and a small business is the scalability. So, scalability means the business itself scales well. Like say Amazon started selling books online, and then in the process they created a huge registered users who were buying books, and then they created kind of trust with them that you can buy online and the book actually arrives and you make online payment, and there is no kind of fraud in that, or no kind of risk involved. You get what you wanted, and you are satisfied, and if somebody is not satisfied, we are taking care of that. Eventually we are solving everything. So, eventually they gave this trust to their customers, and then they started offering new products, and now today they offer virtually anything and everything that is possible. So, that is what is scalability. Repeatability. Repeatability means your customer, you actually incur cost to acquire your customer. One customer acquisition cost may be some X amount of money, then you want that in a couple of years time that customer will come again and again to buy the same thing or something different, and then eventually you are going to make profit. So, initially you are going to give some discount, or you are going to spend money on advertisement or promotion, whatever that you do. On an average, on a per customer basis, you are going to incur cost, that is what is customer acquisition cost, and you have to recover that. Now, if the customer does not come back, suppose the customer purchase whatever, say purchase this pointer, and the pointer is such that it lasts for 50 years, and there is no new technology coming up, there is no replacement of this, then this customer will never come back again, unless you have say a mic or a projector or something. So, if you have incurred loss to acquire this customer and sold a pointer to him, no point, the customer is gone. So, customer has to come repeatedly. So, the product or the industry should be such that customer comes repeatedly, and eventually you make profit through in the lifetime of the customer. Lifetime, normally we say a couple of years. Easy product extension, like say you sell this pointer, then you make some kind of a relationship with the customer. Maybe the customer will come to buy another pointer for his friend or somebody else, but then that does not actually scale the business the way business should. So, you need product extension, like other than the pointer, you may actually use a mic, and then so the pointer guy will come to buy a mic, or maybe someday they will come to buy a projector. So, that is how you are going to extend the product lineup, and then your registered customers always remain kind of relevant customer with new products, old products, all that. Core competency we will define later, but core competency is a unique competency that you create by harmonious exploitation of various skills, like your talent, your business process, your access to raw material, many other things, and then the kind of culture that you have, that you promote within the industry atmosphere or customer service, delivery section. Altogether you create some kind of value that is not visible from outside, but it is a unique value that makes your business process so agile and so smooth that you can cut cost at many places, and customer you can kind of make customer happy. They fall in love with the company because of something that is not visible, but that is so very valuable, because you can have repeat customer coming again and again, making money, and you have you make a lot of money through that. That is what is core competency. Logistic advantage, like supply chain, like you are close to the raw material, so your transportation cost is less. Anything that is that you incur for availing some services, if it is close by, your one is that your time requirement to lay your hands on that is less, and your transportation cost, you do not have to hold it for a long time, etc. Then great brand and loyal follower. You create a brand through some narrative, and your narrative, customers narrative, they are in sync, and then they think that this is the company and this is the product that we should always buy, and they remain loyal even if you increase the price for whatever reason to increase profit, or market becomes slightly more tough and you have to really increase price to really remain afloat. Your customer will not mind. Sometimes they might even think that you have made a better product, that is why you are charging more. So, they will rather buy more than buying less. Pricing power, like entry barrier, pricing power is a single very heavy phrase that subsumes many things. Pricing power in a nutshell is the power of a company to increase price of their product or service without the risk of customer switching to somebody else or reducing the sales, meaning customers are going to remain with you even though you increase the price. That is the pricing power. Another new term, this normally is not seen everywhere, but it is very important, and it is gaining importance by the day. New experience, new meaning in a product. You manufacture the same product as of the competitors, but when a customer purchases your product, they find some new experience, some new meaning in the product. Like say, just to give an example, there is a company called Nintendo. They are manufacturing game console, which is like a cricket bat, and you have a virtual reality glass on your in your eyes, on your eyes, before your eyes, and then you can actually see the ball coming, cricket ball coming towards you, and using the bat you can actually hit. So, the game, which was kind of a seductive thing, children will be sitting before the computer and then playing, and you feel kind of irritated with that, and they became kind of morose or something. Whereas, this becomes full of activity, and then people find that even grandparents are playing with grandchildren. So, you give a new meaning to the product, and the product sells. Within no time, Nintendo actually acquired a huge market share. So, try to think of adding new experience in the existing product, and you win the race. So, that is one of the most important characteristic feature among all of that are there in this slide. Let us quickly move forward. Entry barrier we have already discussed, but what are the ingredients that you can use to create entry barrier? Some of them will be kind of overlapping with some of the other characteristic feature, technology edge and intangible assets. Suppose you have technology that is protected by intellectual property, maybe patent or copyright or something. So, nobody can actually copy that, and as long as another company is not coming up with superior technology, you can always remain ahead of them, and then do wonderful business, almost like a monopolist. But then you have to always remain vigilant whether somebody else actually is superseding you or making something more cutting edge than you. Economies of scale and cost advantage thereof. Like you are in a business where the scale is very large and you have a large scale, and at a lower scale the cost of production is going to be high. So, you have entry barrier, other people cannot enter. Geographical barrier, like say something, say manufacturing cement, manufacturing steel, this has geographical barrier because of huge transportation cost, because of nearness to raw material. Suppose you are manufacturing steel, coal and iron ore is absolutely essential. If you have to transport that from maybe 1000 kilometers, it will never be viable. Rather than other companies will shift finished product, the transportation cost is going to be much lower. Product differentiation, if you can make some differentiation of a product, targeting a niche segment, a small segment of people, a small or medium segment of people, meaning some large number of people who have requirement of a very specific kind. Suppose you are manufacturing a smartphone. Now, say you are thinking of giving a smartphone to farmers. Now, farmers may not be interested in a high resolution camera, may or may not be. If somebody has to really take a snap of a pest attack of a plant or something, they may require, but they need a large screen and then some app to see what is the real time price of some commodity or some information about weather forecast or something. So, you can think of building a product that is highly relevant for this farmers community, but then it may not be good for say office goers. So, then another company or the competitors may not have this kind of a phone. So, you make a differentiation of the product that and then you capture this particular market. Farmers think that this is a phone for them and this is very convenient for them. So, you get that market. Capital requirements to enter a market. If capital requirement is high, then many people will be refrained from entering into that market, both because they may not have the capital. Second, because if they have to invest high capital, they will think risk is too large, meaning if they fail, the downside is great. So, they may not enter into that. Customers cost of switching. Suppose you are selling something and customers are bound to remain with you. Suppose something like say you are selling some kind of a gadget, and the gadget has a tool that nobody else, something like say water filter, say AquaGuard selling water filter. Now, as long as you use the water filter, every year you have to change the cartridge, and then you remain loyal to the customer willy nilly, you have to remain, because another cartridge will not fit into your product. So, switching cost is very high, because if you switch to another company, your initial investment goes down the drain, that you cannot afford. So, as long as the filter remains good, you will remain willy nilly loyal to the company. Access to distribution channel, government policy is very important, and then degree of firm concentration, very important, but very involving. I will not elaborate here, but suffice it to say that degree of firm concentration is the market share of the major players. Suppose 2-3 players have dominant market share, entering in that market is going to be fatal, because they are going to kill any potential competitors. They will kind of collude among themselves and then either reduce the price suddenly, or they will make sure that you do not get raw material from the suppliers. Anywhere they will try to sabotage a new entrant. So, you have to see the degree of firm concentration. You will not be able to survive from many points of view. Product differentiation is a repeat point actually. The last point is brand loyalty and core competency. We have discussed core competency in the previous slide. Brand loyalty is obviously we understand what that is. Okay, entry barrier showing graphically. Entry barriers are two kinds. One is the barrier against your entry into the industry. You are trying to develop a product catered to a particular industry, and there may be entry barrier. There may be other barrier, like you are already an insider, meaning that you are already inside and you are doing wonderful business. You want to create a barrier so that other people cannot enter into your domain. So, barrier should be looked into from both sides. Normally, people say entry barrier is like a moat. Moat is it's a old concept. Earlier days, castles used to be built in an outer body, or outer body will be created around a castle, and then there will be crocodile in the outer body, and the entry will be blocked in the night. Maybe there will be a breeze, and then breeze will be taken away, so that if somebody wants to enter into there, any intruder will be killed by the crocodile. So, it is almost like you have a business, you do not want other people to enter, or there is a marketplace, there is entry barrier and you are not able to enter. How to enter? Maybe using new technology, maybe using new marketing or cost advantage or something, whatever that is, you want to enter into that domain. So, how to enter is the entry barrier created by others, and you need to surmount that. So, when most of other people will go away from there, because they are afraid of crocodile, like they are afraid of this competition, but you have to be intelligent enough to make a breeze above the water body, like you develop new technology or whatever that you think can actually entice the customer to buy your product and then win the war. Scalability. Scalability is how easily business can scale and grow. Like a software, you build a software, code it in CDs and then sell it. So, it is absolutely scalable. Developing is costly, but then you can clone that any number of times and then sell it. It is no issue. That is what is scalable. I have given an example about Amazon, Flipkart. Most of the e-commerce companies, they are highly scalable. So, pricing power, we have already said pricing power. Most important pricing power is first of all brand, second of all your technology is so superior that the kind of quality that you offer in your product or service that other people cannot offer. So, customers remain loyal to you, and then whenever going becomes tough, you increase the price a little bit, and you can manage the increased cost. So, demand is not affected by your small increase in price. Say you manufacture a life saving drug, you can increase the price without much impact, because people have to buy that. So, that is kind of a monopoly, and any monopoly that you build or trust that you build is going to help you increase price without really bothering about losing customers. So, if you raise the price, there will be more profit. Whenever cost goes up, input cost goes up, you can pass it on to the customer. Okay, for pricing power, market structure is very, very important. We said monopoly, so this is a part of market structure. Market structure consists of, we may discuss this later while talking about marketing management, but let us just have the basic idea. Present market growth, growth in the future, number of farms, market share of largest farms, that is market concentration, then market size, nature of cost, cost structure actually, the degree to which the industry is integrated. If the industry is integrated, then entering into that market with a small segment of the whole industry, like say textile. If it is too integrated, you cannot just put up a weaving mill and then become successful. The extent of product differentiation, the customer turnover. Let us move forward fast. Market types, we said monopolistic, oligopolistic, perfect competition. These three are the major ones. There may be others, but monopolistic ideally is a single company catering to something like a very essential items, otherwise there will be no monopoly. So, single company catering, and then people have no option but to buy. So, pricing power is very high. Oligopolist meaning few number of people catering to a large audience. So, there is product, there may be product differentiation, meaning everybody is selling some differentiated product or the other. Here also the pricing power is high, because they can always make a collusion, meaning they can make a kind of a discussion among themselves and raise the price. Perfect competition, here there is no pricing power. If somebody increases the price, he loses the market, as simple as that. Now, this is an example about market monopoly and pricing power. In 2017 or 18 perhaps, a drug called Daraprim used to be marketed in US for $13.5 a tablet. Now, there was a guy in hedge fund management or his hedge fund investment called Scrail, and he observed that this is a life saving drug. It actually part of the treatment for HIV and AIDS. So, this guy thought that people have no other option but to buy this drug. So, he took over this company and increased the price from $13.5 to $750 a tablet overnight. So, that is the kind of pricing power that monopolists enjoy, but then this is not really ethical business policies. And if somebody actually tries to milk the market in that manner, they may very soon find themselves in a kind of a situation that is not tenable, meaning that they may eventually, not only they will not sustain the profit, but they will lose the business. So, that happened in 2015, and in 2016 itself, FDA approved another drug, the same generic formula, that will be available at $1 a tablet. From $750, the competitor is now going to offer the same drug at $1. India has developed for 4 cents at a tablet. Australia, some students have developed this. So, if you are really notorious, you will have to pay huge price. Eventually, of course, Scrail is in jail now for a very different reason, but we should be very careful. We should not be unethical, or we should not be notorious, and that is told by Drucker very nicely when he talks about the deadly 5 sins in business. The first one, seeking high profit margin and premium pricing. You want high profit, so you price it unrealistically high. That is one of the deadly sin. You will never ever remain there. And when he talks about it, he gives the example of Xerox. Xerox built Xerox machine, Xerox invented fax machine. So, because they were the inventors, they priced it at a very high price. They were adding features that customers were not interested in, but because they were adding features and they were adding new price to that. Now, the Japanese companies noticed that this product can be a very basic product, and customers will not complain about additional features that Xerox are offering. So, the Japanese companies offered the same product at a 25% price, and then they conquered the world on those markets, Xerox machine, fax machine and all that, charging what the market will bear. You just try to see how much money market can bear. Can the market bear $750 a tablet or $7,500 a tablet, and you price that. That is again fatal, meaning that is also not right. And he gives the example of Xerox and nylon of DuPont. DuPont priced nylon when they invented it at a price that they foresaw 5 years down the line, meaning after 5 years at whatever price DuPont thought they will be selling nylon, they sold at the beginning itself at that price, and there was no competitors, because they killed the competitors at the beginning because they priced it very reasonably. Customers also enjoyed that for a long time, using cost driven pricing, like your cost is this, so you price that, no matter whether competitor has a cheaper product in the market or not. Fatal. Focusing on past winners, meaning that you have some products that became winner at some point of time. Now you are trying to focus on that continuously, not really bothering about what the market is now wanting. Repeatability. I will give an example. At IIT Kharagpur, we have Professor Guho inventing Raisug, is a male contraceptive that if you inject, a man remain sterile for 12 years, but no company was willing to buy that technology. Why? Because they were selling contraceptive to a single person on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis. But once he is sterile for 12 years, he will never come again. So, the repeatability of the customer is lost. That is why nobody was interested in such a technology for which we were thinking Professor Guha is going to get a Nobel Prize, and then the product was not repeatable. So, you should be careful, not just be cutting edge product, but it should also be repeatable, so that you can serve a customer repeatedly, make money. Easy product extension, like say you are selling books online, you have more customer, sell more things. So, you can extend the product, both extend scalability and product extension may be the same thing. C.K. Prahlad, an Indian, and Gary Hamel, they were professors at University of Chicago. They came up with this business philosophy, core competency, one of the greatest competitive advantage that any company can create, and it is not visible from outside. So, they maintain that advantage for generations, something like that. As Prahlad defined it, a core competency is an area of specialized expertise that is the result of harmonizing complex streams of technology and work activity, meaning many things subsuming in core competence, many things done rightly, perfectly. Read that later. Logistic advantage we have already discussed, we will not discuss too much on that. Strong brand presence, loyal customer. If you have loyal customer, you have already won the business kind of, but you have to be careful with the changing needs, changing aspirations. There are some more points like cost leadership. So, you try to cut cost, follow the lean product development strategy, and then try to sell it at a lower price. So, you are the cost leader of the market. Then product differentiation and positioning strategy, we will be discussing that while talking about marketing management. Operational effectiveness, your business process management, adaptability, competitive advantages, meaning how you are adapting yourself with the changing technology landscape and people's interest, people's aspiration. The information advantage, today's world is everything about information, but then how nicely, how effortlessly or intelligently you are using information for your advantage. Can you guess what the customer is going to demand tomorrow based on their purchase habit today, based on their internet browsing habit today? What do you think their likely purchase tomorrow or their likely test tomorrow will define success of your business. There are so many features about product differentiation. I will not waste time on that. Porter's 5 forces competition model. So, we will finish it here, we will restart in another session.